think I wore this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast for sci-fi.
Hey guys. Sorry, I had to park the car behind me. It was running late today.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Game God. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Did my voice change there? Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did it? I didn't think it did.
No, I didn't. It didn't at all. No.
Yeah.
So
He changed it.
What's that?
Gotcha.
Well, you know what? You're the man of many voices, so you don't really change your voice. It just happens.
True. That is true. I am the next Mel Blanc. That's
Blanc.
Whatever you like to say.
Jim Cummings.
You like Blanc? I think he said Blanc, though. I think that was his real official name, Blanc, with a C.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see. What do we have? We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Yes.
Do we?
We got I think we only got one topic tonight. We're gonna call it.
I try to say that every podcast. We got stuff to talk about, just so that it sounds like we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We only got one topic. Don't lie to the people. Just
what's one?
Just one topic tonight. We're gonna keep it to 10 minutes. We're gonna get
champion of the background. That's the topic. Always.
Yeah. He's a five-time defending champion. Five time. Bookends.
Yes.
But hey, listen, while you guys get all settled in there, I'd like to
go ahead.
Show a little show and tell.
Show me something. Show me what you got.
So I have an appetizer and then a main course. I got two.
Okay, well, put them in order. Go ahead. We're waiting for you.
So I picked this little bad boy up today.
Ooh, okay. All right.
25th anniversary.
Falcon.
Yep, Millennium Falcon.
Set. Now, is this like a small one?
Yeah, this is a small one. 13-inch.
Yeah.
It's on a stand. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the 25th. I think they released last month. So,
all right.
Got that one there. I got my eyes on a couple other ones.
That's nice.
Yeah. My first Millennium Falcon Lego set, by the way.
That's nice. I have two of the older ones.
Yeah. Do you have the big
together?
The $900 one?
I don't know. It's still in the box, sealed.
Oh my goodness!
I know I should sell that, right?
No, you should put it together, man.
$200. I'll give you
200. You give me 200. Nice.
Hey, listen, I give you 201.
205. 205.
Okay. Well, I'll put this on eBay.
You put your bid in.
You guys can bid on eBay.
Counter bidding.
I'll put it up.
But the meat and potatoes today, what we came for the restaurant for.
Okay.
Finally, I got my hands on one.
Oh wow!
I finally got.
Finally is the right answer. Look at that,
man. That looks sharp.
Yeah, it's really nice, man. And you know the first thing I did when I got it?
Put it on.
I threw it on
you tried to see if it was.
Put it on the floor. It works.
So how did it feel?
It felt just like it looked like in the movie.
All right, so let me ask you this: hoverboard feel, lightsaber feel. Which one's better?
Hey,
wow!
Let me tell you.
That's a great
I gotta
question.
think about this one.
No, sir. You don't have to think about it. You had the answer already. That pause told us everything we need to know.
That's him not wanting to say. He's like,
no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Close.
Lightsaber. Right. I have been burned to the dark side for lightsabers. I got quite a few now. But I will tell you, when I got my hands on this, it's very durable. It's got the little thing to put your foot in. It actually turns.
Yeah, I see
that's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
so and then scratching it up. And then obviously there's depth. Like these things are
you need a WD-40 that thing, man.
Yeah, it's there's Velcro on here.
Yeah.
So you get your sneakers.
You can put your just Velcro your feet on there.
Yeah, I guess so. It's for grip.
Oh, for grip. Okay.
Yeah, for grip.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, I was so stoked when I got it. You guys know how I am. I had to get the DeLorean out today.
Of course you did.
I got that. So this is
I love it.
This is gonna go on a
It's about time.
Yes,
that's great.
Long overdue. But I know the background makes it, because that's green and stuff.
Well, you were about to lose your Back to the Future card for a little bit there if you hadn't gotten that. So I'm pleasantly pleased. Pleasantly pleased. I love that.
Yeah, so
pleasantly pleased.
Very happy with what it was. I was concerned that it would be chintzy, and it's not.
That's always a concern, right? Whenever you try to get something you've wanted for forever and you finally get it, you're always worried.
Yeah, you just don't want because you come with a certain expectations of it. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
man, it's gotta be solid, man. It's gotta be like, you don't want to take it out the box and it's like whoop, kind of flips up, like the other time I saw the Magneto helmet.
Like it's a Nintendo Labo, right? You don't want to get Nintendo Labo.
Yeah. I tried to sell. I mean, listen, I sold that as long as my contract was working. I pushed it, and once my contract was up, I was like, I can't do it no more.
You're like, they're not a sponsor anymore. I'm
no
moving
more.
on.
We're not obligated. But yeah, no, I mean, it's no different than I picked up I wanted to pick up a Magneto helmet, and I picked it up. Like they had one on demo, and it looked good from afar, right? Like, oh yeah, man, that looks sweet. Man, finally a solid Magneto helmet. And first thing, what's the first thing? If I tell you there's a helmet there, Magneto, what's the first thing you think it's made out of?
Metal, of course.
Metal.
Magneto,
Hey, the guy, when I said, hey, can I see that? Guy turns around, he picks it up. He picked it up.
Pause.
Like
I'm surprised he didn't tell you. I'm sorry.
Gonna go there, Moose.
We can't. If people, I can't have people trying to talk.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
No,
can't do that.
But so I'm paused. He turned around, he picked it up, and he picked it up like he picked up a sheet of paper. Here you go.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't even grab it. Like he went, here you go. And I said, that's okay. I'm good. You can go ahead and put that back. Because if you picked it up so light and you like it looked like it bent when he grabbed it. Like,
oh my god.
It probably did.
It probably did.
So it was made out of the thinnest plastic you can think of.
And it's like $100, right?
Yeah, 110. I think it was charging.
Really?
110. Yeah. Man.
Come on.
Yeah, it looked good from far, but don't hold it.
You gotta do better than that. Come on.
Man, Magneto, X-Men 97, Magneto, perfect time. You could have made a metal one and sold it for $200.
10. It could have just been. It could have been 10, though, right? I mean, when I say 10,
but something clink, clink, clink,
yeah.
But and sold it for $250, and people would have bought it.
If you made it out of die cast,
man,
die cast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Moose, if you found one, first of all, that fits your dome, right? We got to first put that in there, right?
That's the first problem. And by the way, the plastic one has a better chance because the metal one,
they don't give. But let's say they have a metal one, right?
Yeah.
Fits your dome, right?
Yeah.
And it's made of hard metal.
Yeah.
Would you pay $500 for it?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'd think about it.
I mean, no. That's an honest answer, right? He said he'll think about it because what he'll do, he'll look at it, he'll feel it. You'll see the quality, look for any defects or anything like that. Make sure it's
300. I give you 300.
No, it was just funny because most times we have these conversations, and you know what answer you were waiting for again, guys.
Yeah,
you're waiting for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That was a little off-putting, right? But yeah, no, but you would pay. You'd pay $300-$400 for quality work.
Yeah.
So when you put up, out the
Man,
door.
you would wear it around the house. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I wear it every day.
Yeah, wear it to work. I'm blocking the negative thoughts.
This is my mask. This is for my
I get migraines.
Yeah.
I get migraines. My migraine blocker. Go ahead, talk to me. See if it works.
It's part of my religion.
It's good. It works. See, I feel good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you coined the phrase migraine blocker. That was perfect.
So, but yeah, so 110. I just said put it back, and I left the store so sad and disappointed.
That's
but yeah, anyway, good to know that my hoverboard was made of good quality.
What's the old Brotherhood of Mutant Brotherhood
of Evil Mutants?
Evil Mutants. So that's my religion.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would say.
Yeah.
You have to wear it.
What do you mean? What?
I gotta wear it. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Yeah, you heard Pyro? He's a treasure.
Pyro. Yeah, treasure.
Man,
he's a treasure of the religion. The guy's not a CPA or anything.
No. He just knows how to handle it. Yeah, he's good. He's good with it.
Not director of finance. The guy's a treasurer.
not a CFO though. He's definitely not a CFO.
He's not a CFO. He's a treasurer.
Yeah, he's a treasurer.
Funniest thing, Game God just went straight to the sorority. Clubs.
Yeah, you did.
Brotherhood, treasurer,
evil mutants. Yeah. All right, well let's get this party rocking and rolling. as some might say.
Hit some buttons there.
Hit some buttons.
Get the AI to do the intro for us because that's not really you
AI.
anymore. AI does your intro now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Let's start it up. Here we go. This week's episode is a little Marvel, and a little Marvel. All of that into a Marvel talk. How about Star Wars hitting the theaters? We'll talk about that. Neverending Story 2. Is this a possibility? Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that and much more.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Episode number 428 on our way to 500. Yeah, the big 500. Thanks for listening to our podcast and sharing it with your friends or people you don't know at all. We appreciate that too. All right, team, it's time we talk Marvel.
Man. Marvel out of Marvel, but we're talking Marvelous.
Yeah.
Hey, Moose, I want that Matrix water. You got to put that up for sale.
My team on me.
That's what I thought you were going with it. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't want to come in the way that I normally come in from the sky and just slow down and just pause and kind of like.
And have the plastic. Hey, do you have your plastic outfit or your tin outfit on?
I'm wearing the tin one.
Okay,
this is a good one. This is a good one.
Tin Man, the Tin Man.
Right. I only had a heart.
Or what am I saying, Game God? Or
I don't know.
What? Come on, man. Oh my gosh.
Oil me.
That was way too much, Moose. That was too much.
I'm oil me.
Oh, is that what you? Oh, okay, sure. Okay. All right. That's what you got. I was trying to help you.
I knew where we're at. I'm just trying to give you my best impression.
Of what?
I didn't need an impression. I need you to oil me.
Are you trying to give your impression of Moose?
Listen, I'm the guy with the best linguistic skills here.
Of course. Yes, you are. You said it. You said it.
Hey, see?
All right. You're right.
Thank you, Sam. You're a little late on that.
The button's too far away. All right. Well, let's get it started. Let's do some Marvel talk. How about some Marvel? Do we have any Marvel music? Let's do it. How about that?
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
Mike's got to get it together over there.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. It's coming in loud and clear.
Oh my goodness.
Yeesh. All right, let's do some Marvel stuff. Magic Mike, what do you got for me in Marvel? In the way of Marvel, should we just clear the elephant out of the room right now? Let's just get rid of it.
Let's
talk about it so we can get.
Start with a small topic.
Go with.
Start with a small topic. Go ahead.
X-Men 97. That was released. We've been building up to this. We've talked about these changes they've made and things and this and that, and finally we got to see it. And this is our first opportunity of really talking about it since its release. What's your first impressions, Magic Mike, of X-Men 97?
Well, without giving spoilers, because there is one spoiler in it that is just it's just unless you want to do spoilers. You want to do spoilers? We can do spoilers.
No spoilers. This thing, the 2 episodes out. Come on.
What's spoilers?
Okay. Since we won't talk about the movie,
are you skipping right to the end of the second episode?
No.
What are you doing?
Without saying any spoilers, when I first saw this, I got all the goosebumps, man. You see this, the title come in, the music comes on, and it was amazing. I felt like I was young again, sitting in front of the 19-inch TV, watching me some X-Men at the time, which was not 97, but 92. Man, this was great. I loved every piece of it. We did get to see some of the things like the Morlocks in the beginning. It was the same with that was in the trailer that we had saw. the characters, the voice actors coming back again. And I got to tell you, as much as I like Wolverine and him coming back with the voice, Storm did it for me.
That's it. I completely agree with you on that one. Keep going.
Yeah, her voice sounded exactly the same. Character changed a little bit, but the voice was there. You could just close your eyes. I could have closed my eyes through the entire 2 episodes and know what was going on just based on the voices.
All right, Game Guy, what's your first impressions of this?
Finally, they gave Cyclops some props. This is the Cyclops. Like, I remember back when we used to watch this, Cyclops always came off as the soft leader. That he was. Hey,
I agree.
Listen, he's got optic blast, but he seemed to always be the weakest person on the group.
You're right.
Man, this guy came out like a champ in here. Like I'm like, where'd you get all these moves from? That's what I was like. I was like, what? He can do that with his beams?
So you're telling me when he jumped out of the plane and
my gosh,
when the plane disintegrated and he's out there free falling, going, okay, hey, I'll see you guys down there.
Yeah, I'll see you under.
Yes,
and he uses his optic beam to slow his rate of speed down.
He went into like a torpedo mode.
Like Captain America going straight down, right?
Hey, that was as epic as it comes, right? I to echo what you said, Storm. I mean, they said a goddess. I mean, that's what it came out. I love her hairstyle, the way she just carries herself, real epic, prestigious type of character, and I love the fact that because I remember when she was originally around, every time she used a lot of power, she was tired afterwards, right? Hey, she wasn't tired, man. She was rocking and rolling, man. I can tell you, I love that character. All the characters really, really came to life. I feel like some real heavy duty research went into these guys, and they really got to showcase everything. The first 2 episodes of this series felt like it showed almost a season's worth of characters in the first 2 episodes. Because even when there's that fight scene where Morph changes into like 4 characters, I'm like, it's like it's like, oh, really? So it was great. I do have a gripe about something, and I'm gonna wait to Moose his comments.
Go ahead, spill it. Go ahead. You're up.
All right,
Feel
so
free.
my gripe is in the 2nd episode. Who is this Executioner guy? Right? And here's my gripe. He's a human, as we know so far, and he mopped up the X-Men. Like he's like he like how he took care of Bishop so easily. He took down Cyclops like he was a mere boy, beat him to a bloody pulp. Like he knocked out almost every X-Men. And I was like, wait a minute, who is this generic mid-level boss guy?
Mid-level boss.
Because that's what he was. It's that he didn't even get a full name. X with a line, Kushner. It's like execution. And I know that because subtitles were on. But it's like I thought that was my only gripe of the 2 episodes, that this normal dude that has tech, right, took down 3, maybe 4 X-Men in the blink of an eye. And almost
okay, hold on. Listen, I understand what you're saying here, but let's be realistic in the conversation.
Okay.
Let's bring in Batman for just a quick example of someone who has tech that takes down a much more powerful evil guys or even good guys.
You're right. You're absolutely right. The problem I had with it is that he's just a character that was introduced in the last 30 seconds. And he's come out of nowhere. Like, nobody even knows who this guy is. People know who Batman is, right? Nobody knows who this guy. And this guy comes out like, I thought he was Taskmaster when I first.
He's not new.
No, he's definitely not new.
I mean, I don't remember him, so that goes to show you. But the fact of the matter
I don't remember him much either. But he's not new, and I think the reason why to answer what you're frustrated about, because I think the reason why they got mobbed up is because they just weren't expecting it. I mean, here he uses his powerful gun, which, as I give this spoiler away, takes away Storm's power.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty powerful. So I think he just catches them off guard and takes them by surprise.
But it's so the gun piece, it's just they just took the Sentinel technology and put in a gun. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the Sentinels do that. So it wasn't like, oh my goodness, he's got a gun that takes down mutants. No, Sentinels do that, and you saw him taking the powers from the Sentinels. I was disappointed that the best character so far, the first 2 episodes, take Cyclops out the picture, was, I think, Storm. And you take Storm, so they connect you right away with some feelings. Like they pull you in with the feelsies there. And then the way Magneto got mad afterwards, but held his composure. I really think that was admirable of him.
It's very nice of you to talk of Magneto that way. First, let me just say that I can't echo enough what you guys are saying with the intro. When you feel the intro just come through, it seemed like the original intro. You look at that intro and you're like, oh, they didn't change anything.
Yeah,
they did. They did slightly, but it felt so authentic that it felt so good.
Mhm.
And I love that they kept it that way. I love that they did it that way. I love the fact that when you watch, you feel like it's the same group of people, the same actors, the same characters. They didn't change the character per se. I really love that piece of it. I love the animation that they're doing with it. I think it's great. It's just it pays tribute to the original series. It gives this series life because it's done in an old style way. I love that about it. Now, as far as Executioner, look, here's the deal. Yeah, he's human. And he uses special weapons to do all these things with, but he was an ex-military guy. He headed up the one of the not one of it. I was going to say one of the leagues, but one of the offices in the military to hunt down and mutants and superhumans. So I mean, look. You got to have a bad guy somewhere, and he's got to be able to do something. If not, you can't just. I mean, I'm always disappointed when I see, particularly the people that I love the most out of the X-Men, get taken down. I'm like, oh, that wouldn't happen that way. Like I'm the first to say it. Like, no different than Storm and Bishop in the beginning of the first episode, when I'm like, that would have knocked them out. Bishop is such a great character. I love when they introduced him into the X-Men.
And I think they did him a good job in this. Like,
they did. They really did.
Yeah. You really can tell what his power is now. They really made it.
Before in the old, you really couldn't. You couldn't.
No, you didn't think he had powers before.
Yeah, you thought he was just a guy with a gun.
Yes, exactly. And so, but I knew him from the comics originally, obviously, and when I read about him when they were introduced him, and it was just a great thing because I loved his character so much so. I loved his character so much so.
Yeah, his hairstyle.
No, I did have his hairstyle. That's true. I also had his build once. But
that's true too.
I named one of my cats after Bishop.
Wow. Did you give him the M on his eye too?
He already had an M. I didn't have to
okay.
Yeah, he's from the future. Cat from the future. But I love that. I loved what they did, and I just think it was great. I thought the whole thing so far has been terrific. There's a couple of things I could nitpick and go, why did you change Morph like that? Even though that made sense, and I go, all right, yeah. But you didn't have to change Morph's look, although they kind of show him in the old form and the new form and that kind of thing.
Yep. I thought the joke he did about Professor X when he was Professor was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, of course.
And my biggest gripe is with Morph Moose, and the reason I have and it's nobody's fault because you have to really find the right voice for it. But his laugh was iconic, and that was my biggest disappointment. Yeah, the biggest disappointment was his laugh. That is so good. Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing for me. As I watch it, obviously I told you guys already a couple episodes back, I still play Snap. And Leech was in there. I was like, oh, look at Leech. Okay. And they had Leech in there. Morph is a character in Snap that, copies cards and stuff like that. So it's good to see all those characters being, you see them from, if you play Snap, you're like, oh yeah, I got that card. Or, oh yeah, his ability matches his card kind of deal. Like, so that's pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty cool. But guys, Magneto, was he not portrayed in the best way you can portray Magneto?
Yeah.
You still don't know if you trust him or not. That's how well he's portrayed right now. You're like, we can't trust him. Yeah, we can. No, we really. I can't. In my own mind, I cannot trust him no matter what he says.
Hey, he did say a good speech, man. I think he's right.
That's
He's right. You know? Listen,
Listen,
and
he
I
held
thought he
back.
was going to lose it. I thought he was going to lose it.
You
I thought
fell
he was
for it,
gonna lose
Game
it.
God. You've fallen for it already. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
you said it was admirable.
I
then
am.
We get the introduction of Cable, which I think is really cool. They're coming up.
I mean, do you guys think that's did you see that coming? You think it's a spoiler? I know you mentioned it, Magic Mike, when we were talking about the trailer and stuff. You felt
Right.
like you knew who that was and stuff. Is that really a secret? Like,
What do you mean?
I mean, we know that Cyclops and Jean Grey have a child and is Cable,
Right.
and so
Yeah.
was that when you saw her pregnant, did you like, oh, who's that going to be? Is that going to be?
No, I
Cable?
knew who it was,
Yeah.
but it's still cool to see it because
Yeah.
in a
You
matter
hear
of
the
2
name.
episodes, yeah, exactly. Yep, you see
Yeah,
it because there's the daughter too. So that's the only other thing that could have been. So you're like, oh, it is Cable, and I wonder how they're going to bring him in because they'd have to progress the story quite a bit. So I'd be curious to see how that happens. Maybe some
Here's
time
the other
travel.
piece. So they laid some tracks down. So they did mention the time travel device. Beast was working on it, right? He was working on the first episode. They talked about her, Jean Grey, and the Dark Phoenix, how she was someone else.
Yep.
So they laid that track work down.
Of course.
So little subtle hits here and there that they put in there. Like, so if you're not really paying attention, they're like little one-liners or 2-3 words, but they're in there. So that track, that time device, I think is going to come into play with Cable. Right, so I think that's how they're gonna get Cable to kind of pull back in. Well, how about how the way episode 2 ended? What do you think about that, guys?
Oh man. Well, who's who? Jean Grey knocks on the door. Here I am. What?
Oh, listen. There's no spoilers, and if you're a fan of the comics, then you can draw your own conclusions. I'm not going to say, if you don't already know, because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, the comic book. If it's going to comic books route,
if it's going to comic way, we know exactly. Yeah,
it has to go that way.
But so far, it's kind of shifting back towards the comic book way, because the X-Men series itself, the original series, didn't. I mean, it was kind
of it bobbed and weaved. It bobbed and
did
weaved
like this the entire time. So it could still do that, of course. I'm excited to see the upcoming episodes. I really think they're showing the characters exactly the way they should be, which I'm excited about. I think they're doing justice to the characters, just like the comics would have. And I don't know. I think it has a real success going now. Things could mess up here. They could change things and it could go awry. Let's hope that's not the case.
Just
why do you jinx it like that, Moose?
It's Disney Plus. It's Disney Plus. So quick thing as we close this topic. One thing you want to see more of, and one thing you can do without on the show.
I don't know if that's a legit question right
now.
No.
What do you want? You see, 2 episodes.
There's nothing I want to see less of. There's nothing I want to see less of.
Okay, what would you change? Anything you would change?
I told you, Morse's voice. That's it. His laughter. That's what I would change.
So what do you see more of?
I like that. I like what you said there, Magic Mike. Oh no, go ahead. What do you want to see more of? Is that for him? That's for Magic Mike.
I just want to see more of what they're doing, because what I don't know is how, because you get a feeling of where they might be taking it, but you're still unsure because there's a lot of good things going on with all the different characters are bringing in, as you said earlier, Game God, that they're introducing right now in the first 2 episodes. So I just want to see where they're going to go.
What you got, Moose?
Oh, what do I want to see more of? I'd like to see more of. I'd like to see more of the action individually. I know that the focus has always been in these types of individual pieces of telling the story around Jean Grey, but I'd actually see more fight scenes between the bad guys and the good guys. I mean, I think that people want to see people use their powers, and I think that's important. Although you can tell a good story and still do that, but you got to have at least a couple in an episode. I mean, it's kind of like, the Transformers. If you watch Transformers from back in the day, or G.I. Joe, you got some stories going on, but you want to see the fight scenes. You want to see the fight scenes. And I still do from an X-Men perspective. That's why you buy comics. That's why you watch the X-Men.
Hey, Gene, how you doing?
So that's kind of what I would like to see. But What was the other question?
What would you if you would change
See
anything? Would
less
you
of.
change it or let's see
Yeah.
less
I'd
of?
change anything. Yeah, I like what Magic Mike said with Morph's laugh. I agree with that. I don't know if I'd change anything just yet. I don't think I could have anything that changed. So I like what they're doing. I think that's nice.
All right. So for me to answer my questions, I'd love to see more. I want to see more Magneto. I want to see that.
Well, yeah,
that-
I think you're gonna get it.
I know we are. I know we're gonna get it, but 2 episodes in, I want to see more of that, right? What I'd like to see some little less of, or I would change is I don't want them to get too far off in the weeds of like little side stories that don't really mean anything.
Okay.
Like
That's a fair point.
like because they've done that in the past, right? You know,
Yes, they have. You are correct.
and I don't
Thanks
want
for
that.
reminding me, and now I'm going to be looking for it.
Well,
Appreciate
and here's the deal. Back in the past, you had like 32 episodes or 24 episodes of a season.
Yeah,
You only
now
got 8. I don't want to see none of
Yes.
that. You got 16 episodes out of your system. You got 8
Get to
episodes
it.
to give me solid. Yeah. So I want to make sure of that. And then on an extra piece there, I would love if you guys don't remember, I know Professor X is dead in this, right?
Well, yeah,
He's
okay.
not. He's not. So he was if you go back to the series and watch, he was taken off the planet.
Well, he's in the astral plane. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna come back.
It's absolutely possible considering you still have him in the intro of the.
That's correct. Well, and the intro from the first episode intro changed in the second episode when they brought in some more characters that they had shown. So you know that if it's in the episode, if it's in the trailer or the show leader,
Is there a voice for him? Do we have a voice for him? Did anybody look to see in the?
I don't want it. You want the spoiler?
No, I didn't look. I haven't looked. That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's kind of like
Well, you
talking
asked
about
the question.
It's kind of like talking about Dune Part 2. I haven't. You guys, we talked about whether we should talk about it tonight. We've decided not to. But I know that Magic Mike was the first to see it, and I was like, "Don't tell me anything," because I hadn't seen it.
And
yet.
I have seen it as well. So
yeah. So I mean, now I'm talking about the very first. So I just want to welcome the folks in the chat room. Just by the way, that I see Alex and Gene and Mike. I see those folks coming in. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about X-Men 97. Yes, Magic Mike is certainly in a hotel room, as you could tell. He still has his fire extinguisher? No, a fire alarm.
Fire alarm and
nice
a CO2.
Probably.
CO2
Oh yeah.
sensor.
Yeah. I see that. That is. Yeah. I tried to get rid of it, but
I didn't have parking, so I had to park right behind me. So.
Oh yes, of course.
I love it. Great comment, Alex.
Yeah, Alex always got to get that.
7.5
I'm gonna start charging Alex for the comment.
You know what? We should have asked before this comment. We should have asked Game God what he would have ranked it. I bet it would have been a 7.5.
What would you? Well, just ask him now. Game Guy, what would you rank it?
I give it a solid 9. Solid 9.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's only saying that now.
Oh, I really do. And listen, when Magneto takes the dude up in the air, and I thought he was gonna lose it. I thought he was gonna tear that guy apart. We're gonna tear up the judges. When he went up there, and because he you can see the emotion in his face. And I thought 7.6 now. Yeah, and Gene, I am 1 episode away from finishing Halo.
Yeah. We're going to put Halo on the docket. Next week is a retro week. We're going to do some stuff. What are we talking about next week? You guys know?
Did we do 97? Are we doing 97?
Doing 97?
Is that what we did?
No,
I think so.
Yeah, we're gonna do 97, right?
97. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it said Men in Black.
He was born. Year Gigi was born.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Men in Black. What else?
Tamagotchi was the other one.
Tamagotchi.
Okay. And what else?
What was the game?
The game was Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. All right, so
Okay, yeah. So, but the following week, Gene, we're going to talk about Halo, and we'll probably talk about Dune Part 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some good stuff. All right, let's move on. X-Men 97. You got all of it. What are some Marvel tidbits do we have?
Well, you had mentioned X-Men 97 kind of going back to the comic piece, which is it's always fun to be able to go back to the comics. So speaking of comics, they are reintroducing the Infinity Stones through the Infinity Watch, a new group into a new comic book.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a series of different comics. So the first one, as an example, is coming out is Thanos, the Infinity Watch. I believe that's set to come out June 26th. And there's a little twist. So what they're doing in these comics now is, so Thanos starts looking for the stones again, and then he finds out these stones are actually people. The stones are actually incorporated into people. Now, you may or may not like that. But I like the fact that they're bringing the Infinity Stones back into the topic again, back into the forefront, because you also have like the second release is this Amazing Spider-Man, and then the third release is the Immortal Thor. So these are some good release titles, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this again because I haven't read comics in a while. I might come back to this.
Okay.
Moose, let me get in here. You know, I'm all things Thanos here. Let me tell you so me and Thanos sat down and we talked about this. And you know, he's feeling he's a little sad, he's a little he disenfranchised because you know the story ended and you know no one talks about him anymore. So he's you know in Marvel Snap they've been trying to nerf his card for the longest. So he's feeling like the world is against him right now.
Okay.
Right? So we sat down, we talked about it, and this is all marketing. He's this money grab, it's a cash grab for him. I definitely do not like the people piece of the stones. I think that's a mistake. Because the stones, the reason why the stones are as powerful as they are is that there's some mythical things to it, right? There's mythical like there was created. There's no real true story. Like no one made them, right? They just were made, right? And there's another piece that you did kind of leave out there. I don't know if you did on purpose or not. The Death Stone. So they're introducing a Death Stone. So someone's and I'm like,
they've been talking about they've been kind of bringing it up, and now they're going to finally bring it in.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like the idea of a new stone because you have we have this set of stones. We're like, okay, we know these stones. I think bringing in something new like that could reinvigorate the whole idea of it because there's something a different power.
But this is what we talk about, what we get upset about, right? You're taking a story that's existing and you're building off a story that's already has foundation roots and lore and everything's built around. Now you're going to start to create alternate timelines and stories and multiverses around this kind of stuff. And it just, first of all, stones are not people, right? And they're not, right? Death Stone makes no sense. It doesn't fit the glove anymore. Like, what are you gonna do now? Put two stones in the middle? You know, like it's just a poor. They can't think of anything else to do. So here they're gonna do this one-off, this one-shot deal, and it's just gonna ruin it, man. It's gonna ruin it. It's gonna ruin it. It's gonna ruin it.
Listen, Most, hold on, just real quick, please, if you don't mind. I was getting a little excited, and then I hate admitting this when Game God might have some truth to what he's saying. I do not like to admit that he might be right, but he might.
I appreciate that, Magic, but it's big of you.
Here's the deal. If you ask me, I would just say to you that you know, in comics they can do lots of stuff. They can you know, kill people off, bring them back, change storylines. Oh, that was in an alternate universe. That's not real. It's not in this one. Like they can do all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I say, why not? Give it a shot. Just roll with it. If it works, keep going. If it doesn't, cut it off at the legs and move on. That's
listen, Moose, whatever you do, don't post up this other comment from that Alex says. So we wouldn't leave that right there.
I appreciate that, Alex. Thank you. I'll stick to my 7.5. You know, it's just one of those things where I know that everyone loves Thanos, right? He's the epic bad guy. He's mainstream now. If you didn't know, he used to be big in just the comic world. Now he's mainstream in the everyday person world. So they think that's the only bad guy they can be successful with. So they're going back to the well. This is one of those occasions where you go back to the well one too many times. Leave it alone. It's Thanos episode. It's Thanos rings.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look. I think you could change it at any time. This might be the way to get Thanos back into relevancy because he was written out of relevancy because of the MCU. And I think this is an opportunity. And if it's an opportunity, then I take it. He's a great character. You know, don't dismiss his character. I think, and that goes for any character. You know, that goes for Wolverine in the comics. That goes for Superman in the comics. That also goes for Thanos. That goes for, you know, anybody who go, oh yeah, we're going to eliminate them. What a ridiculous thing, you know. The same way with Iron Man.
Yeah,
you know, Iron Man is still a character. You keep him, you know, you keep him around. You still have him. You know, Black Widow from and specifically from the MCU. You just take care of them. Just keep them around. They're good characters. They make you a lot of money. Why would you ever kill a character off that makes you a lot of money?
Moose,
let me
you
tell
you swung me right back around to that side again. Here I am back on the good side.
Well, I'm gonna bring you right back over here.
Back into it.
I'm gonna bring you right back
because
over
listen,
here,
Moose
Mike.
give yourself a ding, Moose, because when you have the opportunity to bring the MCU back into what we want with Thanos and the possibility of, guess what? He's not dead because there's a Death Stone, and now he's being able to come back.
See, that's exactly what I don't want, right? Because now it negates everything that just happened, right? So listen, I know that
it's the comics. Everything negates everything that just happened.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Thanos is out of shape. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. You haven't seen what's happened to him since it's been done. The movie's been over. He's got the Thor gut, right? So this has brought him back to life. He's getting back to the gym. He's starting to work out again. So I'm glad that this is good for him, right? This is good for him. But I just don't think this is not the way to do it, man. It really isn't.
You want to bring in the Executioner? Is that what you want to do?
Definitely not. But there's so many great villains out there. And why don't we give Dr. Doom his light? Why don't we give Dr. Doom his day in the MCU?
Okay, this isn't an MCU podcast. You are going on and on. Let me just start by saying Dr. Doom has had many attempts at this
but he hasn't been done right.
Right, they're about to
Dr. Doom's fault.
Again. Yeah, that's not Dr. Doom's fault.
It's not. I understand. He's got a bad agent.
Yeah, so they're about to redo that again, allegedly, and we'll give it another shot. So if they're going to do that for Doom, why can't they do that for Thanos?
There we go. Thanos is an epic story. Listen, I'm not happy with it.
Doom's not an epic story?
And at this point in time, in the MCU, he's not. In the MCU, he's not. In the comic book world, yes, he is.
But that's what Moose is talking about. Now he has a chance to come back. Give Thanos a chance to come back.
Let's see.
Here we go.
See, no Death Stone for me, please.
Move on. What other Marvel piece? Is that it of Marvel?
I think that's it with Marvel. We probably should move on from Marvel anyway.
I think that was
been enough Marvel.
How about this? How about May the 4th? May the 4th be with you in theaters. Star Wars is really releasing the Phantom Menace, and they're going to do it in certain specific theaters. They're going to have a marathon, so you're going to be able to watch it from episode 1 all the way through.
Wow,
is that one ticket price?
That's a long day.
That's a good question. I don't think so. But I'm sure there's a package somewhere out there. They haven't announced any prices yet, so I can't. Don't quote me on that.
Hey, would you pay $40 to watch all of them?
I would. I just don't know if I could.
I was going to say
a long time.
So they give you a little band. You can come back. You don't want to watch. You don't want to watch episode 2 to come back to watch episode 3.
Oh, well, it starts with Phantom Menace. Here's the deal. Phantom Menace I'm really excited about this, by the way. I think Star Wars knows how to make money, don't they? Yeah, we're going to re-release all of our stuff in the theaters again. Like how much fun could that be?
They're taking a page out of Nintendo book and doing the Pokemon thing.
Here's the deal. Disney has announced that for the re-release and for the what is it, 25 years?
Yeah.
Since Phantom Menace, they're going to unveil a new Darth Maul lightsaber with a collector box and all this other good stuff.
Oh my goodness.
They had me at Darth Maul lightsaber. And so
pre-ordered already.
I'm anxiously awaiting to purchase this. And isn't that sad?
Well,
that's sad.
Why is that? This is not sad at all, actually. And Moose, just so you know, my sources say they're only releasing 7,000 of them, and they're going to be about $400. So I'm sure the $400 is no problem, but that 7,000, you better get in on that.
They're going to go like that. I know.
Moose already ordered 2 of them.
It comes in a wood box.
Ooh.
And it has a little music box inside of that plays Duel of Fates.
Duel of Fates.
Duel of the Fates, yeah.
Yeah.
They have these little boxes. Ding, ding, ding. Like like in Mad Max. Remember the
oh man.
What was it? What was the one? It was Beyond. Was it Beyond
Thunderdome?
I think it was. Yeah.
I think he was doing that, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe no, it wasn't Thunderdome.
See, now you got me questioning. Now you got me questioning about Mad Max.
It was the next one. It was the second one. So Mad Max, and there was Mad Max. What was the second one?
Oh my gosh,
it's called Mad Max, right?
Yes.
I think that it was just called
Fury Road. Music box.
No,
series.
not Fury
No.
Road.
Yeah, the music box is. Oh, but it's the Mad Max 2, the Road Warriors.
The Road Warrior.
Road Warrior. Yes.
Road
yeah.
Warrior. Yeah. I thought Road Warrior is number 1. No.
No.
This is
Okay.
Road
Well,
Warriors.
anyway, there's a little kid. Anyway,
Gives the
same
music
thing.
box to the kid, the feral child kid.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a couple of those from Disney that do a couple of different things.
wow.
Play a couple of different tunes. So
I was
I'm
with
excited.
you
to
when
get-
we looked at a couple. I was with you when we
Yeah,
looked at a
yeah,
couple.
exactly.
So I'll buy this.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
It is
I
exciting.
like.
Yeah,
I
man. I listen. I'm all in. Lightsaber. You had me at lightsaber. So you know what I'm saying. I'm in. You know?
Now,
Next to my hoverboard.
that extends and retracts. They
Oh
just
my
need to release
gosh!
that
Yes.
thing. I don't know
that's
why.
good.
they're waiting.
What are you waiting for?
Just do it. People will buy it. Don't even
Yes.
just release it. Who cares?
No,
Anyway,
we're doing only
um,
on the star, the Galactic Star Cruiser.
you can still buy pieces of the stuff. I believe they were
Star
selling the
Cruiser?
merchandise online. Yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of it was on clearance. If you go to Disney shop, you can buy some of that stuff. I think they want to get rid of it.
Yeah. What's the clearance price though?
Expensive. It went from expensive to expensive in the
Can we
clearance.
review all those individually?
How about Neverending Story? There's a report out talking about Neverending Story 2, Magic Mike.
So listen, this is a reboot in the works, and what's really cool about this, I say cool.
And I say 2, I really mean
I
2,
know.
like not like part 2, but another one.
And I knew that's why I said that. So, but seeing this reboot, it is not a movie; it's a series, a TV series. So here's the question: you have to ask yourself, does it need to be redone? Number one, and number two, are you in for a series versus the movie? Because the movie, you know how this works out. The
Yes,
movies
we know how it
show a
works
lot
out.
of different things in a short time, and then the series you have to have more story.
So that's a good question. I think that if they do the series like they did the Avatar: The Last Airbender, it can be good.
Mhm.
It can be good. It can be good. But if you don't have anything to fill the episodes, you're like, what am I watching? I don't want a whole episode with the horse sinking in the mud. I don't want to cry for a whole episode.
Why not?
I don't want to cry for a whole episode. That was torture, man. Don't stop.
Hey,
Keep
I don't-
going.
Listen, not to give any spoilers, but you need to go look at back to see how they actually did that, and you might stay crying some more.
Oh my goodness, it was sad. That was one of the saddest parts of the movie.
You know what? Iconic scene though.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
yeah.
It was because he sold it so well, and the horse
Oh, he
didn't do
sold
any.
it.
The horse
He
didn't do anything
sold-
but sink, and the horse looked like he sold it well too. It's like,
By the way, I've
well.
seen some really good cosplay. One somewhere floating out there, pictures of somebody doing that scene, which is just
Really?
wow,
absolutely
that's
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. You got to check that out.
So if it's a movie, if they do it as a movie, right? Which I think
No, they're gonna
should.
do it as a show.
I know, but I think the way to go would be a movie. I think the movie would be a better way to do it.
To reboot
Yeah.
as a movie?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think Jean's right in the chat room. She says, if better storytelling, I think you get a good series out of it because the problem with this in a reboot for a series is that we know the story.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
you got to add more to it.
You got to add more to it. Or you're gonna I don't know how they would tie that in. There's some
no,
great
you're
minds
right,
out there, so maybe they can do it.
I think they can, but you're right. That's going to be the hard part because, they do already have 3 movies, Alex. I understand that. But here's the thing. The story in the movie felt like it was just right. In my opinion, what will end up happening is the series will be more about the book instead of the
Correct.
story. And that's where they might get into trouble.
So let's get a couple facts out the way. There's 3 movies: 1984, 1990, 1994. There
Yeah,
is
well,
also a TV series.
First of all, excuse me,
there's a TV series as well of it from 95 to 96.
never saw it.
Animated, right? Animated?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant a live action.
No, it was animated. So there's been plenty of stuff to talk about, right? Between the 3 movies, the books. But the books is, if you're gonna do a series, you're gonna have to dig into the books. You're gonna have to give backstory. You're gonna have to develop the land and the lore and everything like that. And I don't know if we have the fans and the attention span of fans these days to go back into the Neverending, because we know it because we grew up with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Mhm.
today's generation knows Neverending Story to enough or want to know it enough to say, let's watch it.
Well, that's a good point, but here's a comparison for you. Lord of the Rings
Mhm.
and then Power of the Rings.
But that's different. Lord of the Rings is like it transcends generations.
I understand, but what I'm saying is the comparison being that the movies had a certain story, and there's so much more to those books, right? And so they can bring that into the series, so they get more story into the series. So I think that's a good comparison, in my opinion, if they can do it.
Well, I did. You mentioned those two there, and it just for some reason I thought House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon is coming back season 2, June 6th, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, but Lord of the Rings, I mean, that's just epic. I mean,
Listen,
that's
you're
a
not going to get a
perfect comparison.
disagreement from me on that. I think that Lord of the Rings is certainly more epic than Neverending Story, but I think that it'd be new,
Thank you,
it'd be
Alex.
new for them. I think it's an opportunity for them to learn it, from a different perspective. I also think that the fans of the old one will watch the new one, no different than Marvel.
Correct.
Marvel's been done many times, and when they started the other piece with Iron Man again, and Captain America, I mean, we were getting better stuff, so we wouldn't watch it. So why not?
Hey, I love Alex's comments in the chat room there. He says, first of all, he'll never
He's
compare
right.
those two. That's
Well,
horrible
I had
comparison.
to make sure you're understanding.
And
I'm
his
not
next
comparing
comment
the
is
two.
even better.
Right.
This is better. Yeah, it's like
This
comparing,
one's even better. It's
Sabrina
like
the
comparing
Teenage Witch to Harry Potter. Yeah, that is perfect.
Absolutely. And I'm not comparing the
Every
two.
time that you get a ding from a chat comment, but that's a good one.
Absolutely. And so what I'm saying, I'm not comparing the two stories. I'm saying that the comparison of going from Lord of the Rings from a great movie into a series is, I'd say that this is where they have the opportunity to do the same thing, going from a great movie into a good series.
So okay, so just not to beat a dead horse here, but you're telling me that the Neverending Story.
Fun is that? Come on.
Wow.
I didn't even know I did that. That's good.
Right.
You're telling me that the Neverending Story saga movie or movies, if you want to group them all up, is just as popular and it's just has done.
No, that's
just
what I
as
just said.
But,
I'm not comparing those two.
but you're saying because Lord of the Ring did it, that they can do it too. Is that what you're saying?
In that
no,
area,
there's no way you can compare those two.
you're missing what I'm comparing. What I'm saying is that Neverending Story has a lot of story that we don't know about. You can bring it in because you're saying you're afraid it's going to be story, and you're not going to get you're going to have to veer off here that we're not used to. I'm saying that that's the same thing we're getting with the Power of the Ring is something different than the movies. I think you can do that.
I'm gonna answer Alex's question too. Michael End is the person who wrote the book for Neverending Story.
Michael End? Oh, okay.
Ende. So since he's testing our gangster here and making sure that we knew what we know.
Oh yeah, well I've
three of us. One of us is going to know the answer.
I thought it was Mike Jones. Mike Jones.
That's funny.
Uh,
Mike's still laughing there. No one knows or cares. Everybody knows about Lord of the Rings.
Listen, hey, you asked the question, so obviously you cared. But for those listening and not watching, that dead space of us laughing unfortunately wasn't great. But yeah, that was
but it's reading. It's the comment piece, and
yes, absolutely.
Somebody's got to read.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I'd watch a movie of a reboot. I wouldn't watch the series. There you go.
I'd give it a shot. No different than I'd give anything else.
Lord of the Rings.
Listen, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Game God will give Transformers 5 million shots.
That's
for
right.
all these movies, but he won't give Neverending Story a series.
How much money Transformers made? How much money Neverending Story made?
How much money have you spent on Transformers and come and say, I was disappointed again? I was disappointed again.
Hey, and listen,
it's a broken record.
It's a
broken record. With
hey, better than bringing the Death Stone.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Hey, that reminds me. Transformers, by the way, John Boy Myers has he has a limited edition Transformers comic book out. You should check that out. JohnBoyMyers.com. Good friend of the podcast. Great to see him doing some Transformers stuff. Love that. Hey guys, thanks for joining us in the chat room. Thanks for joining us on the podcast and listening to us spat some good stuff. Next week is the retro week. We're gonna do 1997 in paying homage to X-Men 97. Let's do it.
I was just leaving. Da-da-da-da.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.